here on to November and Thanksgiving, but Ryan, it still doesn't feel like it. It feels more like September.
Yeah, very mild out there. Temperatures well above normal and not that bad of a morning in terms of the temperatures. Approaching 4:45 on this Monday morning. 45 right now at the Sunport. 49 degrees right now in the Northeast Heights. It's actually colder in the low elevations in Los Lunas, right around the freezing mark. 47 in Sandia Park. Now, once you go to the East Mountains, Moriarty, it's colder, 29 degrees out there. So this is what's known as a temperature inversion. Milder in the foothills, a little bit cooler in the Rio Grande Valley, 46 right now, Rio Rancho. Colder air is more dense with mostly clear skies, light winds, and dry air. Once you really start to get shifting winds, sometimes that colder air settles in the lower elevations and a little bit above the ground, it can be warmer. So while we're at 23 in Alamosa, we're at 55 in Raton. Look at that, 57 degrees in Clayton. Meanwhile, much cooler in Roswell, 45 degrees, 40 in Farmington at the freezer mark, Durango, 30 in Cortez, 45 at the TRC. We're at 42 right now in Santa Fe. Those winds switching from the north, they're also going down the slopes of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, creating that mild effect as that air sinks, it compresses, it warms in the Northeast Highlands under these conditions. A 24-mile-per-hour wind gust in Raton, a 26-mile-per-hour wind gust in Clayton. We had peak wind gusts at least around 30, 35 miles per hour earlier this morning. Winds sustained around 15 to 20 or 25 miles per hour occasionally this morning. And those winds going down the east slopes as well, the Sandias and the Sacramento Mountains, creating that mild effect in Ruidoso, but in the lower elevations of the Moreno Valley, one that later looks at Angel Fire, cold, 17 degrees right now, 86% humidity and snow on the ground from the snow guns out there. But no snow falling from the skies, just some high, thin, wispy clouds moving from really west to east. We'll see some of those clouds moving on through today, but because these clouds will be high up in the atmosphere, we will not be seeing any precipitation. East and south of Albuquerque, very sunny out there, so a beautiful afternoon. Our average high, 63 degrees, 76 this afternoon, 75 yesterday, so a little bit warmer. Still very dry out there. Again, thin clouds approaching in the afternoon, but remaining mostly sunny. So dare I say t-shirt weather for this time of the year in November? And with this high pressure moving away to the southeast, those upper level winds from the southwest will continue to bring in milder weather for most areas compared to normal, that is. Right around 76, 77 in Albuquerque, 60s in the northern areas. Again, Clayton, because of that backdoor front, despite a mild start, not warming up that much more. So near normal high temperatures, way above normal morning temperatures from Roswell to the south and west will be reaching the upper 70s and 80s today. But as that jet stream flattens and dips just a little bit, that will allow for slightly cooler weather ahead, but still very dry weather as we head throughout the middle of the week. We'll start to see lower temperatures in Albuquerque. In the Four Corners, cooler, a little bit warmer with those downsloping winds in Clayton to Tucumcari. Carlsbad even warmer in the upper 80s and still pretty warm in Deming in the low to mid 80s for your Wednesday. So November 11th to the 17th, that warm trend will continue, very likely warmer than normal to the southeast, pretty likely warmer than normal in the Four Corners and western areas. We're leaning mostly drier in southeastern areas and a little bit wetter in the Four Corners as we head throughout the middle of November. So some changes will eventually be ahead. Chilly morning temperatures, slightly lower high temperatures eventually ahead in Durango, including Pagosa Springs, but not much snow in the San Juan Mountains. So starting up pretty dry this fall. Farmington, Gallup, and Cuba, temperatures in the 70s. Again, we did see some precipitation, of course, earlier in October, but ever since then we've been very dry. Camado, Silver City, Alamogordo, and Deming reaching the 70s and 80s today, and similar in Roswell and Carlsbad. Cloudcroft, Ruidoso, mild. Now to either northeast. That's where that backdoor front will continue to kind of shift winds out there, creating cool conditions. Santa Rosa in the 70s again, but though mild morning conditions this morning. From the northern mountain communities to Santa Fe, 60s and 70s for high temperatures, but cooler later this week. Moriarty, City Crest, Sandia Park, sunshine, the big story ahead. And from the north to south valley of Albuquerque, somewhat chilly morning conditions, well above normal high temperatures. But after tomorrow, David, we slightly cool down. And this weekend, still, despite the cool down, temperatures above normal.
Wow. And that's funny because we are going to be getting towards almost the middle of the month by the end of the week and into next week. It's just amazing how I mean, unseasonably warm it is.
Yeah, we do have indications of that La Nina pattern in the Pacific that usually kind of signals warmer and drier conditions than normal. So something we'll keep an eye on.
There you go. All right, thanks a lot, Ryan.